Camera like action. That's how they start the TV show, right? Anyways, pardon us as always. It's time for amazing women on the station you love to watch. This is Kule Daniel on your television.
All right, my name is Glory Itiafe, and of course, you're welcome to the show.
What we do on the show is simple. We talk about women doing great things in their various ways and spheres of life, from banking to acting to the entertainment industry to medicine. As long as she's a woman and she's doing great, then we will celebrate her on the side.
Of course, we highlight on issues, affecting Nigerian women. We get to talk about it and, of course, provide solutions on it as well.
And today is one of such days. Not necessarily talk about women today. Okay. We're talking about something that relates to you, and you. If you're young and you're in a relationship, then you should be glued to the television. What's our topic?
All right, we're discussing celibacy.
Celibacy.
Interesting topic, I must say.
It's abstinence. And we've been beaten around the bush. That's what I'll use for the language. On if it is proper or how good or how long can you stay without sex in a marriage or in a relationship, in quotes. This is Amazing Woman once again. We'll go on a short break. Don't forget we have our Amazing Women segment on today's edition, right?
All right.
As always, where we talk about somebody who's doing great things in every sphere of life. Welcome on the show, guys. We're back. Before you know, we're out of your screens.
All right, welcome back to the show. You're still on to Amazing Women. And of course, myself and Kunle, we're very much in the studio. And so we're discussing celibacy. All right, so what exactly do you think celibacy is? I have to ask you because I don't know, maybe so many thoughts are running in your head. So
what kind of thoughts do you think is running through?
We never can tell at this point, So
I think take away the dictionary this time. Celibacy is being abstaining from sex for a certain period of time, and there are various means of being celibate. You can either go through that process from birth. That's when you have the monastery, the monks, those who have categorized themselves as not going to have any form of sexual intercourse for the duration of their lifetime. And there's some people who have also come into that conclusion in their own little mind and space that for the next 2-3 years, I no go touch man, no.
Why do you say in their little mind?
No, but because you have to come to a conclusion that you don't want to be involved in any form of sexual relationship. That's why I say in their own little mind. You have to come to that conclusion. Okay, you're asking me this question. Are you even celibate?
Why do you want to know if I'm celibate?
Well, we are in a conversation.
You were the
one who put it to me first.
Okay, let me answer your question.
Yeah, please do.
I might be, I might not.
You're being very political with your answer.
Yeah,
but what's your opinion on the idea of celibacy itself?
Okay, yeah, celibacy, just like you rightly mentioned, is abstinence away from sex, and I actually think it's actually good.
Good.
I'm sure some people within some quarters, some people, maybe especially one person sitting beside me, might not really like it. But some people within some quarters might not really agree with celibacy as a way of life and everything. But I think sometime in one's life, even if one is not a virgin or if you've been sexually active before in your life, sometimes in your life it actually pays to be celibate. Just stay on your own, abstaining from sex. Having a different like a mind
a
mind
cleansing.
Kind of just staying on your own, discovering yourself, loving yourself, just staying away.
But for people who are in active relationships and who are sexually active, don't you think it's always very, very difficult to abstain from sex totally? Because I know it is. I don't know how scientifically right this is.
Okay.
But they say once you're active, it will be very difficult to shut your mind off sexual intercourse. So
That's not true.
Why do you think so?
That is
Well,
not
because
true.
these
That is
days
not
people-
true.
Oh, okay.
That's actually not true because for you to say okay because of the fact that you've been sexually active, it's hard for you to go back. I think it depends on the person. It depends on the person now. I feel like not like I feel like I know that if you decide within yourself that okay yes I don't want to go through this for now. Let me just stay away. If you decide within yourself and you actually put in the work, of course you can do it.
So don't you think there are periods where you feel this urge, this lonely feeling?
That's the thing. It's not as if you don't get urges, you don't have sexual urges. You have definitely sometimes your hormones get play on you. It's actually you get to feel like okay, yeah, maybe you feel like having sex or you feel like okay, I'm feeling one type of way or something. But it also does not mean that because you're feeling that way, you have to respond to it. It's just like seeing something that is actually dangerous and you going onto it and putting or just saying okay yes because it looks appetizing, looks really good, let me just go into it. I think sometimes it's just a mindset.
So now okay, this one way you just talk to go. Make I ask you. So how do you shut your hormones? I will not come to the television and say that I've been celibate or abstained from sex, and I will not even say I participate in such activities regularly.
Okay.
I think I'm more into being religious and
okay.
but how do you shut down these hormones? It's easy these days, because we talk about toys. We have toys these days. When I mean toys,
sex toys.
That's you saying that.
That's me saying that.
There's even some people there are fruits.
Okay.
These days, there's this Nigerian artist who just recently did a song.
Okay.
If you know what I'm talking about,
all right.
They will. All right. But how hard is it to turn it off? Because especially when you have a partner who doesn't necessarily understand that you have to be celibate sometimes, or you have to abstain from sex.
That's the thing. You don't turn your hormones off.
How do you manage
it? The thing is this: it's a natural thing. If your hormones are raging, after some time it will calm down. It's just like how when it's raining. After it pours, it's gonna, everywhere's gonna become calm. So after some time, after the hormones rage, it will just stop, and you become okay. What was I even thinking back then? Do you get? It will just be as if it was just like an impulse, as at that time. So moving away from that, you mentioned
your partner, something about the partner being able to understand.
Now it depends on the seriousness of your resolve not to, engage in sex or your resolve to become celibate. If that resolve is very strong, if you have an underlying reason why you want to be celibate, maybe you're a religious person and in your constant prayers and your constant communication with God and everything,
God,
you just feel
my emotional radio.
You just had that conviction that okay, I should abstain from sex from this time, or maybe for some people actually who've been apparently, let's just say,
active,
living in sin, kinda like those ones who people who give their
lives to Christ.
I don't have that
conversation with you.
Those who calm down.
Okay,
those people who, for instance, you go to the Bible. Let's just say you go to the church, and now the pastor prayed and you gave your life to Christ. Hypothetically speaking, not you now. Maybe generally.
Why? If I tell you I'm celibate, won't you believe me?
Of course, I'll believe you. Okay. I'll take you at your word. Value. I'll just believe you. But going back to the analogy, I was giving. If you go to church and the pastor preaches and you just decide there and then I've given my life to Christ and I'm not, I don't want to go back, into sex and all of that because I know that it's sin, it's sin of the body and everything. So and you feel that urge, you feel that heaviness, you feel that conviction within you, and you know that it's really, really strong, and you know that no. If I do this, I'm not going to be comfortable with myself. So you go back and your partner is there and is wanting the sex and everything. So it depends on how strong you feel about your resolve. If you're the type that, okay, I don't give my life to Christ, but I'm still going to keep doing what I want to do.
You pray for forgiveness.
You continue. But if you're the type that, no, I'm not going to feel good with myself, my conscience is going to be eating me up, then I think you need to take a very big step.
I quite agree with all you have said, but let me put this to you.
All right.
How do you want a partner to understand that you want to stay celibate? And how also would you expect the partner not to cheat if you guys have been active before?
Okay, that's the thing.
Because let me put myself in that shoe. If my partner comes to me and says, Kule dear, I've been going through some spiritual problems. and for the next
No
2 or 3
spiritual
months or 1
problems.
year, I'm just saying, or
Turn
psychological problem or
around.
turn around. That would be. I had a girlfriend once who broke up with me because she said I was taking her to where the father wasn't. Oh
Okay.
no, that I was taking her far away from our father.
God, okay.
That's what she said, and I was wondering what she said. How do you want such partners to understand?
Okay, that's the thing. It's going to be very hard, like really, because
let's assume we're in a relationship.
Because you guys have been engaged in the sexual, behavior, sexual acts, and you've been engaged for quite some time, and now you're trying to extricate yourself, from the situation, and you didn't tell that person beforehand that at so time, I'm going to tell you I'm not doing it again. Everything was good and rosy from the beginning. So there was no time that you people signed a contract that it's going to terminate at a particular point in time. They did not see it coming. So it's going to be like a thing of shock for them. So I understand the fact that the partner might not understand that situation, and it'd be very confusing to him or her at that point in time.
If I was your partner, I would understand, but it's a conversation we can continue.
Okay.
But you said maybe not. To test the maybe or the maybe not, maybe we'll take it after off camera. But in the meantime, we'll go on a break.
All right.
On the show today, we don't have our regular guests. Sometimes we want to open the shows to people from the outside because we believe we don't have the monopoly of knowledge.
All right.
The guys on the other side maybe have better ideas than the guests we bring sometimes. On subsequent editions of the show, we'll be opening our studio lines. We'll be running you through emails. We'll be running you through social media handles that you can send your thoughts and also talk to us on any of these topics. And you can also nominate the amazing woman of the week.
Definitely.
It could be one here, Sarah in Otta. Or because we have strong Nigerian women doing strong things beyond the guys that we have on social media and television. But on today's edition of the show, we have a guest who will talk. His name is Shinwa Ditutu. He's someone who is into media. He works at a radio station somewhere in Nigeria. And is someone who understands the dynamics behind being celibate and abstinence. So when we go on that break and we come back, we would have listened to the voice of Shinwa, who will talk to us about celibacy relationship. For you, Glory, and for myself, we have a conversation and our test after the break.
Okay.
This is Amazing Woman. Let's go talk to our guest on today's edition of the show.
Stay tuned.
Well, being celibate is you abstaining from sex. That's my own understanding about it. But then, celibacy as it stands, it's will I say, let's pick it from the point where I would say the Bible recommend for couples to be celibate until they get married before they engage in sexual activity. But then, because of the world we live in today, it takes extra courage for anyone to be celibate. Because of if you look at the trend currently, you notice that kids from let's say 12, 13, they're already engaged in sexual activities. So for people like that growing up, the millennials especially, we call them the millennials. Millennials are from the 1980s down to 2000 and to date. So kids of that generation entirely is, I would say, is quite hard. It's easier for the people in the 70s, the 60s, because the moral value then it's higher than true. Because at that point you are told as a woman that your husband has to meet you as a virgin. Well, relationship it differs. Some will, some won't, depending on what level of commitment they both have for each other, for the relationship actually. Because if you look at it from the standpoint of both of them being actually being sexually active, you will notice that it's going to be a very, very difficult one for someone who is sexually active to stay celibate. Because maximum, I feel, for the lady is easy. For the guys, I think it's it's a bit tricky. But then, I believe everything it's a matter of you deciding whether or not to do. If it was to be the guy that wants to say, okay, I want to be celibate, it's a matter of determination. I feel he can see it through. But for a woman can stay without having sex for a long time than a guy. Well, like I told you the other time, I said it's a matter of understanding and a certain level of commitment to the relationship. Whether they want a end point for it, which is obviously marriage for every relationship, like that's the main end point for it. But then, if for them they are just about let's just be cool with each other, then the other person can go ahead and just bail out of the relationship or cheat on the other guy or the girl. But then it depends on both of them still, because both of them even having sex at the initial point, it's an agreement for them. Aside the fact that they're in a relationship, it's an agreement, it's a mutual understanding to even go into the act itself, which is the sexual act. But then if one person decides to go celibate and the other person is not cool with it, definitely it won't work. So, but for it to even work, they have to come to that same agreement which they've entered into in the first part. Well, I'm a very, very active. For now, I don't think. At times I do. In my own celibacy does not span more than 2-3 months. But there are times where I just go and just say, well, let me just probably when I need to. There are times as humans we need to. Then I'm going back to my creator, so to speak. So maybe when I want to communicate and get something, I can decide to stay off. But outside that, I'm a very active person. Well, like for everyone, there are different reasons. Some might be spiritual, some might be personal, some might be it's as simple as heartbreak for some people. Like probably their previous relationship hurt them that much, they are still healing. For those kind of people, they no matter the next relationship, especially for women, they tend to judge their previous relationship with the current one. So they tend to want to be selfish it's not selfish though, but then they tend to think about it like, oh, the other person, because women, they are all more like, oh, he slept with me, and I keep hearing that, and like, I don't understand. He slept with you. You guys both had this. It's an agreement, but then once the relationship is not working, it becomes you slept with me. But there are times where you come for it as well. So, but for me, I just feel it's more of personal for anyone. It's more of personal than spiritual, because even the word spiritual, even the word, it all boils down to being personal to the person. So whatever reason it may be, maybe spiritual, maybe whichever reason it is, it's more personal to. Well, for me, I've not been in a celibate relationship. Rather, I've dated someone who is a virgin, and I had to be the celibate one. So at that point, it was more of decision to me. So I really wanted that person, regardless whether she hasn't broken the IMA or whatever. I still wanted her despite all odds. So for me, at that point, I think I was celibate for the period we were together. Even I was really, really tempted. At so many instances, I was extremely tempted, but then I think I scaled through. So I decided. That's why I said I feel it's a decision thing.
Welcome back. That was Sheon, our guest on the show. Kule, Sheon raised a very valid point, and I think we should just have a conversation about it.
Let's hear it.
All right. It has to do with celibacy and virginity.
Oh yes,
Definitely.
I remember.
You know how
you
people
will be virgin, see if you celibate. See how you do
you know how people get to talk about the fact that okay, you can't start talking about celibacy if you're not a virgin. That it's only a virgin that is entitled to talking about celibacy. What do you think about that?
Yeah, your answer. My answer is if you don't do them before, which is celibacy now. But on a more serious note, I think it's a personal decision to want to abstain. I always feel that's how I feel. She literally just spoke my mind. If you have been active before, if there's no major reason, maybe spiritual reasons that you should abstain from sex, then I should not believe you. I should not trust you, because if you're not doing it with me, it's only basic that you might be doing it with someone else.
What do you mean by that?
See, inside life. But that's how it is. But I think people should, on a more serious note, people are right to decide what they want when it comes to who they give their body to and when they want to give their body out.
Definitely, I actually agree with that. I feel, as regards celibacy and virginity, I feel if at any point in time you as a person do not feel comfortable, about engaging in sexual activities, and you feel you want to go celibate, why not? If not, go celibate. You don't owe anybody any explanation.
I'm celibate.
You're celibate.
It's a conversation that we would never, because people have different. You need to see me beyond or outside the camera talk about celibacy. I'm going to bang on. Anyway, it's time for our amazing woman of the week. She's unmarried, so in our minds, we guess she's celibate, but she has a kid.
Okay, yeah, definitely a grown-up woman, by the way.
Beautiful, delectable.
Yeah. All right, so we're talking about none other than Genevieve Nnaji, our very own amazing actor. She has won lots of awards. She's been on several international shows, talking about opera. A lot of people have international.
Oh, she's been on opera.
She's had an interview with Oprah before.
Oh, great.
Yes, and of course, a lot of international organizations recognize her and her contributions to Nollywood and even beyond, Nollywood as well.
She once did a song. I know what.
Yeah, that was back in the day.
An utterly bad song.
In the day.
Well, the song wasn't that bad.
And of course, she's dabbled in the world of modeling and of course fashion designing as well.
So if you don't know what Genevieve looks like, let's go enjoy our amazing one of the week.
Genevieve Nnaji is a Nollywood actress, singer, model, and an entrepreneur. She was born on 3rd May 1979 in Mbise, Imo State, in the southeastern part of Nigeria, and grew up in Lagos, Nigeria. She is currently 37 years old. She is originally from Mbise in Imo State, Nigeria, and started acting at a tender age. She is the 4th child in a family of 8. She was brought up in a middle-class environment. Her father worked as an engineer while her mother worked as a teacher in Lagos State. She attended Methodist Girls College Yaba, Lagos, before heading on to the University of Lagos to study theatre arts. While at the university as an undergraduate, Genevieve Nnaji began auditioning for acting jobs in Nollywood movies. She started her acting career as a child actress in the then popular television soap operas Ripples at the age of 8. In 1998, she joined Nigerian movie industry professionally and started acting at the age of 19. Her first movie is titled Most Wanted. In 2001, Genevieve Nnaji received an award as the Best Actress of the Year at the City People Entertainment Awards. In 2004, Genevieve Nnaji signed a recording contract with EKB Records and released her first studio album, One Logo Logo Line. In 2005, Genevieve Nnaji won the African Movie Academy Award for Best Actress in a Leading Role. Genevieve Nnaji is considered to be one of the best paid actresses in Nollywood and has starred in over 80 Nollywood movies. Genevieve Nnaji has featured in several commercials like Omo Detergent and became the face of Luce in a sponsorship deal in 2004. In 2008, Genevieve Nnaji launched her clothing line St. Genevieve, which donates its proceeds to charity. Genevieve Nnaji has starred in several Nollywood movies like Most Wanted, EJ, Last Party, Ijele, Mark of Beast, Blood Sister, etc. Genevieve Nnaji is currently the richest and most influential actress in Nigeria with an estimated net worth of $7 million.
Welcome back. That was Genevieve Nnaji, our amazing woman of the week.
She's amazing. She's an actress, a producer, and also a singer. The last movie I did see her on was Lionheart. You remember the movie?
Yeah, definitely. She produced the movie, by the way.
Oh, she produces movies too. Oh,
yeah,
great.
definitely.
She's someone who has breaking bounds in all form of the entertainment industry that she speaks up. Maybe one of these days we'll see her contest for maybe presidential election or governorship election or a special advisor to a governor.
No, Genevieve is above that. She's above that.
Oh, really?
She can't do that.
Okay, it's not in our place to diminish any woman. It's in our place to celebrate them. And Genevieve Naji is our amazing man of the week, and we celebrate her for being great in all ramification. It's about time we leave today's edition of the show Amazing Woman. Kole Daniel is my name.
And my name still remains Glory Itiafe.
Amazing Woman is a production of Accessible Media Desk Concept. A big thank you to the executive producer, Ayuade Ojo. From this end, we can only say have a fantastic rest of the day.
Bye.